Hey everyone, I finished watching the first episode of The Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog, Legend of the Ancient Scroll. After years of war, the land of Kells is seemingly entering a new age of peace through a peace treaty. The treaty, though, it turns out was a deception. Queen Maeve of Temra believes she has a right to the entire land. She reveals her magic ability and escapes a conference with the King of Kells. She goes to an underground base and summons a little elfish man, Miter. He instills her with the power to create a monster. She conjures up a giant skull-faced beast. The beast attacks soldiers of Kells. Queen Maeve sends an ultimatum to the king, Conifer. His aide, the sorcerer Kahad, suggests getting help from the fair folk of Tir na Nog. They have an ancient scroll telling of a mystic hero, Draganta, who will save the land. Kahad shows Rohan, his apprentice, part of the ancient scroll. It's dangerous to use while incomplete, though. On the scroll is a symbol matching a birthmark on Rowan. Kahad believes this links him to the prophecy somehow. The king is reluctant to allow Rowan to go. He thinks it's safer to surrender to Maeve. The king's daughter, Princess Deirdre, wants to go, but her father denies her. Rowan makes arrangements to free his friend from imprisonment to accompany him. Angus, an infamous pickpocket, agrees to go with him. Kahad sends them on their way. One night, Rowan receives a vision of future allies in magic armor. The next morning, he and Angus are caught in a trap by a man, Prince Ivar. He's come to Kell searching for a man who stole an artifact from his kingdom. They agree to help him out in return for allowing him to lead them to the fairies. He leads them to a giant stone monument, supposedly the door to the fairies' realm. A mysterious cloaked figure approaches and they seize them, thinking they may be the thief Ivar is looking for. It turns out to be Princess Deirdre. She went against her father's wishes to follow them. They all start to argue amongst themselves when suddenly the stone structure opens and our heroes are thrown through a portal. This premiere is pretty cool. The only negative is that it's a bit cluttered and rushed. It does do a decent job of establishing our main cast of heroes, as well as the main villain. Back in the 90s, this show stood out from other Fox Kids shows with its setting. No other show looked like it, not even other live-action shows. It premiered a day before Young Hercules, a spin-off from the popular Kevin Sorbo series. Hercules and its other spin-off, Xena, were probably big inspirations for Mystic Knights in terms of aesthetic. While Hercules based its stories off of Greek mythology, Mystic Knights was based off Celtic mythology. There's plenty of special effects utilized that don't quite hold up, but they're still entertaining. Kahad makes a CGI skeleton warrior, which actually looks pretty good, but its movements are slippery like a lot of early CGI. Queen Maeve's CGI beast looks alright, but the splicing in of practical effects is jarring. Miter, the little ferryman Maeve summons, looks good, though his scenes are all shot from one angle. The sets, props, locations, and costumes are all very well done, and none of them feel out of place. The show is set in the past, so this is very important to get right. It's helped by the fact that the show wasn't shot in Los Angeles or Vancouver, with recognizable or commonly used locations. Mystic Knights was shot in Ireland, definitely unique for a superhero show. The characters are mostly well introduced. Rowan is our leader, a sorcerer's apprentice and an orphan who doesn't know their origins. He's an optimistic guy, friendly and brave. His friend Angus is a bit of a delinquent, a well-known thief. He can tend to be reckless. Princess Deirdre is smart and brave, independent and sure of herself. Prince Ivar is a jovial guy, but focused on his goals. Queen Maeve is a unique and interesting character. She's the Queen of Temra, a neighboring kingdom of Kells. She claims Kells was once part of Temra, but was stolen from her ancestors. She now believes she's owed rulership of Kells as well as Temra. This motivation is actually quite relevant, as at the moment, several actual nations around the world in the present have this same belief. Land that was once part of somewhere else must be part of it again. Queen Maeve is dangerous because if she conquers Kells, she'll control the entire island, and if we look at current reality, we see that conquerors rarely settle there. She'll continue to move outward, claiming even more land for herself. The other main recurring characters we meet are King Conifer, spelled Conchobar but pronounced Conifer, and Kahad, which is spelled Cathbad but pronounced Kahad. I'm guessing, I don't know, there was some Gaelic influence in the names, or like some of the letters, like there's silent letters. Some of it is kind of hard to figure out, because like I grew up in America, so I'm used to the American spellings of things, sometimes like British spellings of things. Irish Gaelic spellings is quite a bit outside my realm of knowledge. There's not enough to go on with these characters quite yet. The music is almost a character in itself. It's very different from the music in any other Saban show. It goes for a folk feel heavily influenced by popular Celtic music. Appropriate. In some regions, a new theme song was used featuring the folk rock group the Kelly Family. In Italy, they had a very epic orchestral theme song, which, that's pretty cool. I was surprised to learn that nearly all the main cast continued acting after this and are still active today. Rowan was played by Lachlan Amiran. Lachlan O'Mearan. I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced. Mystic Knights was his first major credit, and he's had a steady, successful career in television and film since. Angus was played by Vincent Walsh. He had some roles prior to Mystic Knights, including Degrassi High, where he played an Irish student. He also is credited with playing one of the beach-storming soldiers in Saving Private Ryan. After Mystic Knights, he continued to have a successful career in television and film, and has even dabbled in music. Princess Deirdre was played by Lisa Dwan. She had some small roles before Mystic Knights, but since has continued to have a successful career. Prince Ivar was played by Justin Pierre. Mystic Knights was his first major credit, and after he went on to appear in many big shows and movies, and most recently had a recurring role in the soap opera Emmerdale Farm. Queen Maeve was played by Charlotte Bradley. She's a successful actress as well as singer. She's still acting today. King Conifer was played by Stephen Brennan. He has credits dating back to the 70s and is still active. Kahad was played by Barry Cassin. Not sure how it's... He has credits going back to the 50s. He died in 2017. His last role was in the 2012 film Byzantium. Mitre was played by Ned Dennehy. He had some roles before Mystic Knights and has since appeared in some big movies and TV shows. He was the villain Richter in Guns Akimbo and was an uncredited extra in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. There's more interesting facts about some of the actors in the show, but I'll wait until they get bigger focus before going over them. Mystic Knights is quite a different kind of show after Beetleborgs and Ninja Turtles The Next Mutation. Like Ninja Turtles, it's not adapting any Japanese superhero show, but unlike Ninja Turtles, it's an entirely original series with no basis other than ancient myths. Mystic Knights is on the longer side of Saban shows at 50 episodes. Unlike VR Troopers and Beetleborgs, it only lasted a single season. A second season was planned and even started, but unfortunately canceled in favor of a bigger budget going to Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Mystic Knights is a lot of fun so far, and it's been years since I've watched it. I'm looking forward to what's to come. So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.